They've had to adapt and pivot to different coordinators. I mean, Shedeur has had Pat Shermer as his offensive coordinator for a long time.
He's the most equipped. He's had 7 different offensive coordinators.
Yes, sir. It's okay to criticize Shedeur. Y'all are just making up reasons to criticize him. I've devoted this channel to trying to be as transparent and honest as possible. Some of y'all might call me a glazer, some of y'all might call me a hater, but it doesn't matter because anything that I say, I typically bring things to back it up. I'm not just gonna just yap, even though I do a lot of yapping. Today, it's gonna be a quick video. It's not a regular type of video. I read and I was listening to this Mary Kay Cabot video. And obviously, y'all been telling me about her in the comments. My Browns fans have been educating me about her ways. Apparently, she's a notorious liar and a notorious bane in the existence of media. So I was listening to this video like, whatever, putting together my Shedeur video for your enjoyment since, y'all love when I spam the Shedeur videos. And I was like, hold up, this needs to be a separate video because it proves the point that a lot of my other videos have been trying to get across to you guys, and it's that Shedeur Sanders, it's very easy to just lie on his name to get clicks. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to prove the lies that this so-called media member has to say, and then we're going to go for it. So let's just hear what she has to say so concretely about Shedeur Sanders.
Have a tendency to look good. But then you've got 2 rookies who have also played a lot of ball. I mean, you've got Dillon Gabriel, who is very smooth and efficient. And I thought he was that way with the pre-snap stuff, even in rookie camp. He just had an unbelievable command of that kind of stuff. So I think that's going to be important. And we're going to have to see, can Shedeur handle all of that stuff while learning a whole new scheme? These other guys have all had to pick up new terminology and new schemes very, very quickly. They've had to adapt and pivot to different coordinators. I mean, Shedeur has had Pat Shermer as his offensive coordinator for a long time. He's had his dad, Deion Sanders, as his head coach for a long time. They've all been speaking a certain language for a long period of time. So he is almost an old dog learning new tricks for the first time, whereas all of the other guys are very used to change. Take Dillon Gabriel alone. He's probably had 6, 7, 8 different coordinators in his college career. He's done all different kinds of things. And so I think he just has that ability to pivot and adapt. And we know that Kenny can do that.
Thank you so much.
And we know that Joe can do that. So these are some.
Yes, Mary. Thank you, Mary Kay Cabot. And I'm sorry if I was acting extremely unprofessional, childish while I was watching the video, because I've never seen such a bold-faced lie. The funny thing about this lie, we're gonna walk backwards, right? First off, is Dillon Gabriel smooth and does he do pre-snap things well? Absolutely. Was he drafted before Shedeur because Kevin Stefanski sees some of the traits and things that work well in his offensive scheme historically? Absolutely. But to take it another step further and to say that Shedeur Sanders is the only player in the Cleveland Browns organization that has not had to deal with change is so categorically untrue. Again, so much so that he was castrated, might be a strong word, but he was definitely thrown in the mud for pointing out that he went to different places. Let's hear it.
Franchise or the coaches don't give me. So you should know history repeats itself over and over and over, and I've done it over and over and over, so it should be no question why an NFL franchise should pick me. You think I'm worried about what critics say or what people gotta say? You know who my dad is? They hated on him too. So it's like it's almost normal. Without people hating, it's not normal for us. So we like diversity. We like everything that comes with the name. That's why we are who we are.
So that's,
if you ain't trying to change the friend.
Oh, sorry about that. And that was something that people, when he fell in the draft, people were trying to be like, oh, see, and that's why you think you can change things. You think that attitude of yours. It's like, no, he's just gone to multiple places and done it. So adversity, wrong. And then let's go deeper into it. You're so wrong that, because I know what media members do. Sometimes media members understand that they're the people that are listening to them don't know anything about football, so they can just say buzzwords and they can just say things, and they don't expect people to know what these football terms are. I don't think Mary Kay Cabot expects you to know what an offensive coordinator is, which is a disrespect to you. They disrespect your intelligence. That's what she's doing, because I can pull up a video from. This is just one, so he's never had a different one. He's been with Pat Shermer for years. Here is February 9th, 2024. I'm so sorry for yelling inside your house. This is February 9th, 2024. Shedeur Sanders speaking on the announcement of new offensive coordinator, Pat Shermer.
No excuse. You got a great receiver coach. They're going to do everything they need to do. We got great OC, Coach Shermer. He's going to do everything. Like, it's no reason to not succeed. You got the linemen, you got the relationships, you got everything. That's the biggest thing, to really be out there and caring for each other and not really having no hate on the team. That's the biggest thing. There was a lot of times last year where we had choice routes and different stuff like that, to where it's just like, it messed up. I can't anticipate anything. I got to make sure you're doing it. You get what I'm saying? So now I'm a half a second holding it longer, even though sometimes I could like, nah, they got back there fast. I'm like, Like, I never blamed anything on the lineman, because it's just always something I could have done better. But the indecisiveness on knowing what they're going to do, because of that just wasn't my style of play, I'll say.
So you get a twofer here. Not only do you get to the lie that I'm going to continue to debunk. As long as I have a YouTube channel, I will continue to debunk the Shedeur is entitled, ungrateful, throws his teammates under the bus, as he just eloquently put there, saying, hey, I probably messed up, and he addresses that. And then number two, not only do you confirm that there was another offensive coordinator, you confirm that it's a completely new one and you just changed, and you even go to the lengths at the adversity that you had to face when dealing with it. Now, there's some more videos and some more examples, and we're going to go into that. But before we do that, actually, I don't even want to. Look, I'll probably put this at the beginning of the video, because it just straight up debunks the lie. Let's listen to this, and then I'm gonna go on my yap session, and then we have a few more, just because I just love proving people wrong. It's very interesting. So we're gonna start here. On ESPN, Deion Sanders goes on a First Take to defend his son.
You didn't have Shedeur.
No. You're right. The last game in Colorado last season, I didn't have Shedeur in our last game. Shedeur had started every game in high school,
Right.
every game in college except one, and he's prepared for this next level and this journey that he's about to go. And I think he's the most equipped. He's had Cam, the 7 different offensive coordinators.
Yes, 7.
And a line that was always criticized and scrutinized, but he still stood and delivered. I think he's the best one for the job for any city.
Now, again, I have more proof and I have more, but you get the point, right? Before I go any further, because a lot of y'all like to click out the video about 5 minutes, I just want to summarize this. I don't think Mary Kay Cabot is a terrible person. I don't think she's this. I don't think she's that. I do think that she thinks you're stupid, though. I genuinely do think that. I do think that a lot of media members, and the reason why they've had such a rocky relationship, specifically with athletes, is things like this. Like, you're just yapping when you could just double check. Look, it's okay to criticize Shedeur, but this is the reason why I make these videos. Y'all are just making up reasons to criticize him. I've critical of Shedeur. I talk about it. I talked about his the proneness to hold the ball too long. Guess who else has talked about that? Shedeur Sanders. I talked about some inconsistent velocity. Maybe he can get there, but he can't fit into tight windows. You know who else has heard that, worked on it, and has been documented putting in the work to improve that? Shedeur Sanders. I was critical of Shedeur Sanders, say, hey, he isn't an elite athlete. He can do what needs to be done, but at the NFL level, there's another echelon of athletes. So doing the things and drifting in the pockets, who else heard that and has been working on it? Shedeur Sanders. He's said it. He's admitted it. But it goes back to my point as, why are you trying to misrepresent Shedeur? or are you just lazy? I'm not just gonna say that Mary Kay is just she's some hater, even though the track record here of her 5th-round quarterback Shedeur Sanders signs a 4-year contract worth $4.6 million, almost $42 million less than if you would have signed at number 2. And then another thing that just came out today, Mary Kate told the morning show that the Browns traded up to Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round because they didn't want to see him and his dad suffer anymore. They could have drafted me. I've been suffering for 25 years as a Browns fan. As always, great insight, Mary Kay. Now, I don't, how you can take anything Mary Kay Cabot says seriously after it, dog, it didn't take me long to find these videos. I've reacted to these videos on my channel before of Shedeur openly, Deion openly talking about different offensive coordinators, right? So why are we going to such lengths to either just be lazy, again, be lazy, or just to be hateful? Which one is? I'm gonna let you decide in the comment. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt and just assume that she's just lazy. I'm just gonna assume that she thinks her viewer base is dumb. I'm going to assume that Mary Kay Cabot thinks that her primary audience, Browns fans who go to her for important information, that she is unreliable. That's what she just told you. She can't even do a Google search. She can't even see that Shedeur Sanders went from FCS to Division I FBS. And I know a lot of y'all in the comments like to discredit HBCU football, like Walter Payton doesn't exist. But, you know, have fun disrespecting Shannon Sharp. Have fun disrespecting some of the greatest contributors to the NFL. Not only do you negate that, but then you don't even, how about point that out as a point of adversity that he's gone through? Because if I'm not mistaken, but actually, besides Joe Flizzy, Joe Flacco was an FCS guy at Delaware, right? I don't think you know that, Mary Kay. I'm sorry, but clearly, right? So instead of pointing out, oh yeah, by the way, even if you don't, hey, I don't know how many coordinators Shedeur has. Okay, that's fine. Hey, I don't know how many coordinators. Okay, that's fine. But what I can see by a simple Google search is, oh, Dillon Gabriel went to UCF, Oklahoma, Oregon. Okay, cool. I can do a simple Google search that said, oh, Shedeur Sanders went from an FCS team, then transitioned to an FBS team that was 1-11 currently. Like, I'm not here to put the cape on. Y'all make me seem like a Shedeur Sanders glazer. This says hook 'em horns on it, son. I'm a sad Texas fan. I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm not supposed to be defending the honor of Shedeur Sanders. I got an Arch Manning video to make. I got 7 more Steve Sarkisian videos to make. But instead, the people who are supposed to be reporting for the Browns are looking at Browns fans, peeing on them, and telling you it's raining. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Categorically false, Mary Kay. I don't know how. I just don't know how you do that. And it's interesting. Did Mary Kay? Mary Kay did tweet this out. She had no problem tweeting this little nugget out, huh?
Cameras and eyes anywhere I go. That's not. It don't matter where I go. I know my teams and I know the influence I have, on society and on culture. So wherever I go, it's definitely gonna be an improvement than what it was before I got there.
So she was fine tweeting this video out and promoting the fact that Shedeur might bring some change. It might be some positive stuff, right? But you can't do a quick Google search. And before I end it, I just, again, do you do Google searches? Shedeur said, before I end this, it's going to be a quick video. First in Colorado, because while you're here, right, please do a Google search. Please, 8th in Heisman in 2024, Shedeur Sanders. Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, 2024. First team All Big 12. AP Pac-12 newcomer 2023. I don't even read the 2023 stuff. They don't care about that. First in Colorado single season. I've said this before. Passing yards, completion percentage, touchdown, interception. The number 1 most accurate in FBS history. Second in Colorado single. I don't even know. This just ain't nothing. It don't say nothing. It just says single season. First in Colorado single season passing yards, single game completion percentage. Jackson State records. Y'all don't care about HBCU football, so it don't even matter. He's got a slew of those too. What I'm trying to get across here, right? What I'm trying to get across here is that there are plenty of reasons to judge these young gentlemen, to judge Shedeur Sanders, but please don't just lie, Mary Kay. And if you're a Browns fan, you don't got to keep watching me You don't have to keep watching my videos, but I implore you to stop listening to anything Mary Kay says because she thinks you're dumb. Appreciate you. Like this video if you like it, dislike if you don't like, subscribe if you enjoy football content of all shapes and sizes. Sorry, that one upset me a little bit. You be phenomenal. We'll see you next time. You're great. You already know you're great.